How do you build wealth as an immigrant and turn it into multi-8 figures? How do you start from zero coming from another country in just a short period of time? And that is the topic of the conversation I am having today with no other than Luke Belmar.
So companies in Wall Street, I would do their ads because they weren't running Facebook ads. So I got my first check for about $86,000 for 9 months of work.
Wow.
Did running Facebook ads, doubled the company's revenue. I did it for free for 2 months. I was doing outbound because I would get DMs from them on Instagram or LinkedIn messages like, hey, like if you're interested in our products or services, I'm like, this is shit. Let me add some ads to them.
Yeah.
Ran it for 2 months for free. I called them like, hey guys, I want a contract. Like, oh no. We'll think about it next month. I was being nice. Turned off their ads the next day. Next morning, they called me, hey, can you fly up to New York? Yes.
Yeah.
They gave me my check. And I called my dad and I was like, I made it. And he's like, bro, $80,000 to $90,000. That's crazy. Like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, but it's not enough. But remember, I was paying $200 a month for rent.
So and now that's US dollars and you're coming from Argentina.
And it's crazy. So now I'm making this money and I'm like, what can I do with my advertising skills? Because I was still this is a 9-month gig. I don't know if these guys are going to renew. I don't know if they're going to keep on going. Most agency work is quite laborious. These people were calling me. I'm like, let me move this money. Let me try some other things. Let me take my Facebook ad skills. What am I going to do? E-commerce. Figured out the entire ecosystem of e-commerce, drop shipping, now arbitraging physical products, not just digital products. We ended up doing in the span of 3 years, 16 million in revenue, which isn't massive numbers, but it is for teenagers.
Yeah. And
we ended up flipping and putting all our money into crypto, which I know sounds insane, but it only makes sense because crypto's the future. And yeah, we rode the 2020 bull run and we 42x'd our portfolio. So quite fire.
Yeah. I love what you said. I want to break a couple pieces down for the listeners here. So if you look at the world of sports, let's just say you want to be a pro, whatever, baseball player. To think that, hey, I'd love it if the Dodgers would sign me a contract and then I'm going to go learn how to play baseball and I'm going to be a really good baseball player for you. Ugh. Like, no. You got to do it your whole life.
Yes.
And you have to be good enough that they give you the contract. So what you said was sort of like that. Like you went and learned how to do digital marketing. You went and learned how to build Instagram, social media, flip those. And only once you had learned those skills on your own for free, working for free, spending your own time, effort, labor, then you got good enough to make a little bit of money. Then you went and gave those services to a company for free to prove your net worth. And only once you had proved enough worth, they were willing to pay you for that. Sort of like getting a contract from the Dodgers. But people today think that they can just go, hey, will you give me a job to do marketing for you, but you got no marketing skills. And that goes back to the question I had posed earlier about people not wanting to work for free, but we play sports for free. And so it's just this mindset shift that really holds people back. So I kind of wanted to highlight that.
I think to add and to finalize that point is if you always want to make money, you have to be irreplaceable. If you have to be irreplaceable, you have to be in high demand. So I made sure that I was irreplaceable. What did I do for this online company? Doubled their online revenue in 2 months.
Yeah.
So now I was irreplaceable and I was in high demand. So now I had the leverage. And I think in business, it's all about leverage. You leverage yourself by becoming better. And people are like, oh, well, they leverage themselves through blackmail or through finessing. No. The ultimate form of leverage is to become so undisputably good that people call you.
Right. You give your services for free until they want to pay you, until they demand to pay you. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so now you put all your money into crypto because you're young and you're low risk and you figure you might as well bet it all. You already said that's kind of how you grew up. And so at this point, you're still young, your expenses are still low. Now you know how to make money, so now your risk tolerance is higher. Because now you know you can go make more money if you need to, and you don't have the downside risk. So now you throw it into crypto. You time the market cycle pretty good. You 40x, 42x your portfolio. You crush it. Then what?
Sell out of crypto, rotate to tech stocks. It only made sense. Undervalued Meta, undervalued Shopify, which are the only two stocks that I truly knew because I run Facebook ads and I run Shopify. So I understand the Q4 reports of Facebook and I understand the Q4 reports of Shopify. Undervalued.
Right.
Q4, they fucking rip. Their sales through the roof. So in Q1 reporting, every single year, look at the Meta stock.
Yeah.
Every single Q1, it rips through the moon. So I rotated out of crypto, which I felt like it wasn't at the value that it was supposed to represent. I think it was overvalued. I rotated to undervalued assets. This case, Meta, Shopify, Robinhood, Coinbase, MicroStrategy, and my only one that I'm still waiting to play out, which will play out, is PayPal.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook sold off 75%.
Which is ridiculous.
Like, you think it's going to go away? 75%? So like, yeah, what an undervalued stock. I'm curious. So now you've cut your teeth making money, create wealth. So you and I, we actually say the same three things, different words, but create wealth, multiply wealth,
Yes.
preserve wealth. And most people don't understand those three. And so your journey was creating wealth. What can I do? Pressure wash basketball courts, flip pizzas. I'm creating wealth. I'm earning wealth, flipping Instagram accounts, creating wealth. Then you have to go to multiply it. So then you throw into crypto, you multiply it 40 times, right? And now you have to preserve it. I'm just curious, like, how you think about those three buckets as far as your attention and time focused into that. So how much time do you really think about your growing, creating the wealth through businesses versus like managing it, multiplying that wealth?
So it depends. So on the business side, there's two aspects. One is instant cash flow. So I can do a consulting call for $10,000.
But let's say just like Luke Belmar. So 90% of my time is focused on my business and growing my wealth. And I spend about 5 or 10% of my time with like what my money's doing when I'm not earning it. Or like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so I would say the breakdown isn't like a specific breakdown of time. It's more so a breakdown of my life patterns. So the life patterns in the business side, it breaks down to active income, and it breaks like what I have to work for directly versus money that comes in. So I'll create content. Capital Club will continue printing subscriptions. I need to create the content regardless. So that income just comes in. I have my entire team. I have my CEO, Steve Tan. I have my entire organization. There's almost 100 employees inside Capital Club that build, manage that structure. I don't need to be there every single day. I spent the last 4 years building that. So now it's in a place where it can sustain itself simply because I've created the other vehicle of content creation. So content creation fuels this. That's more so like my passive stream of consecutive money. So I'm not really focused on this besides the product, right? Because if it's my vision, I need to ensure that the product sustains itself, and I'm focused on community, retaining people. Then on the active income side, it would be like, I don't do coaching, but if there is a coaching experience, right? So if you do coaching, that's your active income. That would be money you receive right away. I don't do a whole lot of that. I don't focus really on instant money because I've made money. You know, once you scratch that itch of, okay, I don't no longer need to eat, I think people need to change their mindsets from hustler to boss. And I think people start making millions, they don't change their mindset, right? It's the same mindset that they had when they had nothing. You can't have the hungry mindset when you're already full.
Right.
It makes no sense. That becomes gluttony, because now when you have a lot, you have to begin to share, right? And if you want to scale, you need to bring people in. So now my main focus is recruitment, right? So now I focus on looking for talent and looking for opportunities. So now that my main basket, my Nile River, is being nurtured and taken care of, I'm bringing new content, new eyeballs to build out the ecosystem. If I choose to, I can have some sort of active income that requires me to dedicate specific hours, but I don't necessarily like to do that. And most of my time now is focused on looking for new projects, business development, and recruiting top tier talent. Because if you can recruit top tier talent, all you have to do is let them work and get out of their fucking way.